Welcome to Edge Industry Review, Fireside Chat. I'm Jim Davis, editor of Edge Industry Review. I wanted to talk about a new report from market research firm IDC that estimated that the market for enterprise and service provider spending on hardware, software, and services for edge solutions will reach roughly $274 billion by the year 2025. Now, at the end of the day, a significant portion of edge services and applications will reside in a third-party data center. We've certainly seen that investors have been actively putting money into edge data center startups and other companies. There's also been a fair amount of acquisitions, private equity and otherwise, relating to the market. So I wanted to get some perspective on the data center market and edge computing. So today I'm talking to Greg Ellliott, Vice President of Business Development at 1623 Farnam in Omaha, Nebraska. For those outside of the U.S., Nebraska is a state that's actually pretty much in the middle of the country, in between the big data center markets like Ashburn, Virginia, and San Jose, California. So Greg, welcome, and maybe you can give me a little bit of a background on 1623 and what the company offers.
You bet, Jim. Thanks so much for having us today. Yeah, we're the de facto carrier hotel for Omaha, Nebraska. And the facility itself, 9 stories, about 75,000 square feet of data center space. We have cabinet by cabinet colo, cage colo, multiple fiber entrances into the building, 8 megawatts to the curb. So really impressive facility. We just went through a $40 million renovation so we have new power infrastructure, new cooling infrastructure, new diverse fiber vaults, so essentially a brand new state-of-the-art edge data center on top of being a carrier hotel. And then on our third floor we have the heart and soul of the building is the Meet Me room.
So for those who are maybe a little more familiar with staying at a Marriott than a carrier hotel, maybe you can give me a brief explanation of what that means.
Yeah, you bet. 99.9% of the population probably has no idea what a carrier hotel is. So that's thanks for asking. We'll kind of lay the groundwork. It's kind of a older term, but essentially these carrier hotels evolved in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 markets over time, and in tier 1s you may find multiples of them. But what the carrier hotel is, it's a carrier neutral facility where typically they're downtown, so close to the incumbent carrier where all the fiber aggregates in the metro. They're either close or on the metro fiber ring, and then also they need an aggregation of carriers that have network infrastructure within the facility. And over time, the carrier hotel organically grew because there needed to be a neutral spot to connect networks outside of the incumbent carrier. That a lot of wholesale fiber buying, can't have fiber everywhere because it's very expensive to build, so you see a lot of wholesale buying and selling of fiber assets at a carrier hotel. And the reason why it's good to have that neutral carrier neutral piece of it, you can imagine if you have AT&T is telling Verizon to build fiber into their building, and Verizon would say, hey, we're Verizon, you build to us. So it's nice to have a neutral spot to connect all those networks.
So you're at the center of a lot of connectivity there in Nebraska. What are you doing? Why are you positioning as an edge data center, and how has that helped your business?
Sure, that's a great question. Just by the nature of the business, with all the fiber coming into the building, really that's one of the main pieces. We have really 3 pieces, but so the carrier piece with all the fiber coming in, and then we have the content providers, hyperscalers that have a presence, and then with all those networks in one spot, we have this is great for an enterprise customer to connect. Also, in the region, we have hyperscalers found it's a great place to build their huge data centers. So Google Cloud has a couple of large data centers within the area very close to us, as well as Facebook and others around. So all of those types of those types of facilities, they have partners within their ecosystem. and then they connect through our building to connect to those types of assets. And right now we have about 50 plus carriers in the meeting room with a physical fiber presence. So, it's not like we just made up that we're, the edge. It's actually happening in our field. We tell people that we're the on-ramp, off-ramp for the internet in the region. So that's interesting. The other thing too is we own and operate the Omaha IX, so internet exchange. So that's just another element to the ecosystem to continue to grow and offer that amenity to our network customers.
So then what, from your perspective, does edge mean or not mean to enterprise customers that are in your area or wanting to partner with somebody in your area, connecting through either a cloud or network? What are the challenges for driving adoption in that market as opposed to, say, a Facebook or other hyperscaler who already knows all of this stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I've been in the carrier hotel edge data center business for 15 years, and I always, have been successful with the approach that, you look at your customer's business and how the facility, the ecosystem can benefit. And there's been a lot of changes over the years, and right now we're helping a lot of enterprise customers with their digital transformation strategies, because things are moving so fast from 5G to mass machine learning, AI, hybrid cloud strategy. So a lot going on there, and so the ecosystem that we have in our Meet Me room is positioned very well to help an enterprise connect quickly and efficiently and securely into all of those things. We have in the Meet Me room, we have some kind of what I call next gen carriers, Megaport. So they're an easy way to interconnect into multiple cloud infrastructures as well as different data centers across the world, as well as we just added Packet Fabric as well, so similar. But specifically, we're working with manufacturing companies, financial and insurance companies, and healthcare companies on some digital transformation strategies. So we can dig in specifically to those verticals if you'd like, and I can kind of share what we're seeing real time out there.
Yeah, maybe if there's a particular example. I mean, I think what's interesting here is that companies don't have to be located in New York City to take advantage of all of the latest technologies that are coming to market to be able to digitally transform themselves. So if you just had one, most recent example of a company and what they're doing and how they're tapping into this ecosystem, that would be great.
Yeah, so working with healthcare type client, they work in the augmented reality, virtual reality space, and so they have these huge files, and so when they're putting together these files, like let's say for instance they're doing a heart for a patient, so the surgeon can actually get into the heart and look around before they actually cut on the patient. Want to make sure those are right, but they take huge files, and also getting them from point A to point B and to render them and all the things that you need to make all that happen. So they're leveraging. They would leverage the some rendering, offsite rendering, that today, like how they're solving for that rendering today is they're using every bit of compute in their office that they can gather to render these files. So by connecting into let's say a Google Cloud or another rendering facility, they can render those quickly, and that'll help. And then also the storage and all the imaging that the hospitals go through, we're seeing a lot of that as well. So that's an interesting one that we're working through as we speak.
Yeah, certainly my own idea is that maybe hospitals need to focus on all of the healthcare issues, right? And we'll leave data storage and compute, especially, and all of the power that's required for all of those things. Let those kinds of services expand in a facility that was designed for that. Well, so it sounds like the year's off to a pretty good start for you guys, but maybe you can share a little bit about your outlook for 2022. What are the market verticals or key trends that are going to help drive growth for your company?
Yeah, we're always, as I've mentioned a couple times, building that ecosystem. So we have 50 plus carriers and ISPs that have that physical fiber presence, but we're always looking to add more. And so we'll be adding international customers or international carriers to that mix. And also just added Subspace, and they're a next-gen carrier, low latency. We're in a great spot right in the middle to have low latencies to multiple markets. So that's exciting. We're always adding content, to get that content out to the end user via the carriers, and then more hyperscaler and cloud type of it is, and as we keep adding those, it becomes more and more attractive for enterprise to connect into those different networks. So we're really focused on that. We like to be involved in cutting edge technologies. So we're trying to stay on top of, as I mentioned, augmented reality, virtual reality. And so one of the things that we're doing around that, we participated and sponsored, it's called the AR Challenge. So that actually February 3rd, next week, they'll be having the demo day. So kind of the year-long, from the year-long program, this is kind of the ending of it. So it'll be exciting to see what the demo day has in store. So that'll be actually in Kansas City at the T-Mobile campus. And then in September, we will be hosting what we call Meet in the Middle. It's an event we've done for years. Invite network providers, carriers from all over the world, our customers, potential customers, industry partners to come. We do golf tournament, scavenger hunt, and then we do a nice networking event. So that'll be happening September 22nd. So everybody's invited. You're invited, Jim. So we'll be
excellent. Thanks for the invite. It's been a couple of years since I've flown anywhere, so we'll see how this year turns out.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Years and years of running around to different industry events, sitting in one place and traveling virtually on camera has been a different thing. But thanks very much for all of that. I appreciate you joining us at Edge Industry Review for a chat. And again, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Jim.